What age do you think, quote unquote, hoeing around? Like, what age do you think is too old? Because I know they both single, and I
think hoeing around. You mean was too old to hoe?
Yeah, like what age it gets too
About
old?
97.
All right. Oh, wait. That's going right.
Man, if I could sling this till I'm 97.
97.
Real talk grinding, yeah, we shining. We ain't lying, yeah, we rising to the top, man. We grinding real hard, no layoff. Going hard like LeBron to playoff. Let me tell you, real talk from the takeoff. We be turned to the man, can't you see it? Young black kings trying to succeed, love my team. Merch cheesy, definitely RTTV, Real Talk TV. We stay the same, we stay the same, we stay the same. Real Talk TV. We ain't gon' change, you ain't gon' change, you ain't gon' change. Real Talk TV. It's part of the game, it's part of the game, it's part of the game. Real Talk TV.
What's good, YouTube? It is Real Talk TV. We are back with another episode of the Heal Podcast, and today we have a very special guest in the building. He's a stand-up comedian. He's a stand-up producer, where he produces stand-up. He's an actor. He's currently on tour here in Cleveland and all around the United States. He's a podcast host. He's a writer, which I just found out. He's a 40-year veteran in the entertainment business. He was on BET's Comic View. Man, from Jersey City, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, TK Kirkland.
Yeah, show the love in the room. Show
Yes,
the love.
sir.
There we go.
Yes,
there we
sir.
go. What's up, Cleveland,
Yes, sir.
Ohio, Toledo, Ohio?
Man, y'all, so this is going to be a completely different interview where we're going to really get to know who TK Kirkland is.
I love that.
So, man, just to jump into it, what's the normal day-to-day for TK Kirkland now? Like, I know you have your own network, your own podcast. You're a pretty busy man. So
Yeah,
now
it's just a normal day for me. Like, I try to make it everything's normal as possible because a lot of celebrities, actors, comedians, they get caught up in the celebrity thing, and it's really nothing, my man. You know, you make good money, you travel the world, but to let it go to your head is insane to me, you know?
Absolutely.
So I try to be as normal as possible. Like my daughter calls me housewife because during the day, like I'm cooking, I clean, I mop the floor. I love washing clothes. I love going outside with my leaf blower in the morning, blowing the leaves. I ride my electric bike. You know, I ride a scooter. I go grocery shopping. I really like doing those things, you know? You know, I do.
So what was it like growing up in New Jersey?
I was a track star, so I was always busy. You know, a lot of people don't know. Not only did I run track, I was a college professor at Montclair State University. I started out as it was a program back in there called Upward Bound University, and that's when gifted children would go to these programs during the summer for 6 or 7 weeks to prepare you for college. So from there, I wound up being a teacher. And the rest is history. And I started teaching in different schools around the country when I was a youngster, and the rest is history.
So growing up, did you know immediately what you ended up wanting to be, or did you have a lot of ideas in your head?
I had no idea what I wanted to be. You know, I was just really throwing the darts, trying to whatever was going to click. So I remember in college I wanted to go into pathology. I remember going into business, but I really was just doing a lot of crazy, embarrassing things, right? And I was just doing it, and then it just struck for me, and I felt stand-up comedy. I saw that I was good at it. But if you notice, when I do stand-up, I'm not laughing at my jokes. I don't consider myself like a true comic. I consider myself a kid who, well educated, came from the streets, took that energy and applied it to the stage. And then when I met people in hip-hop, because I came up through hip-hop. So NWA, you know, you take Eazy-E and Ice Cube. If you notice, I stole their idea with the baseball cap and the T-shirts. When you hear their interviews, they used to always say they were street reporters. So I took that and said, you know what, I'm a street reporter. So I go on stage and I give information because of things I learned on the street. So every rapper I went to, I adapted something from them. I adapted hustling and a businessman from Jay-Z, even though I was that guy already. It showed me that when he was doing what he was doing, I was doing the right thing. When I rock with Baby, it showed that having you can floss and still stay in your own lane. Because if you notice, Baby don't roll with nobody. You'll never see him in interviews with people. You'll never see him at parties with nobody.
Babyface?
No, Baby from Cash Money.
Oh, Baby from Cash Money.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, that's hilarious. you never see Baby hanging with anybody, and I just love that. And I believe it or not, even though that puffy-headed situation, you know, you don't know his personal life from the outside. You really liked the way you thought he was moving, and as we got older, you saw he wasn't giving people their publishing. You know, you see that he was, you know, involved in other things that was destroying women. So he lost a lot of credibility over the last few years. And then you got 50 Cent, you know, who took me on tour. We rocked together, and when I hung out with these guys, it made me realize I was doing the right thing with my life, and I like that.
Okay. You have 7 kids.
Yes.
Your youngest 16, oldest 37.
Yes.
Did that change you? Because you're a busy man. You travel. So from having that first kid to the last one, do you feel that having those 7 kids, do you feel it changed you?
Yeah, I think kids do change you. Once you start having daughters, it really changes you. And by having daughters, it's a combination of being a lot more responsible, but then realizing the kind of man that you are, and because you love your daughter so much, you don't want them to meet nobody like you, so to speak. So even though I'm a great guy, one girlfriend, being serious with just one person is just not me. When I see you and your wife, when I see my friends married, I love that for you guys. I see my son who just had twins about to get married. I love that for him. I think it's the corniest shit in the world. but I love that people have found someone that they could tolerate. Because to be with someone, you got to tolerate their ass. You know, you only get 2 hours with me, and you got to get away from me. But if you can tolerate somebody for the rest of your life, nigga, man, that's the word. And some people want to take tolerate as a bad thing, but no, I mean tolerate is a good thing. If you can tolerate each other, because as soon as I get mad, I'm like, bitch, I'm fucking I ain't got time for this shit. I'm out. Fucking up my day. I'm out of here.
To bounce off of that a little bit, I know you see Nick Cannon out here popping out babies. Like, you feel like you kind of set out a blueprint for people like Nick Cannon having a lot of children?
No, with Nick, my 7 children over a 20, 30 year span.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I didn't have to start having kids until I was 27 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and my kids wasn't done in 1 year. My kids is over 30, 40 year period, you know, because I'm 60-something years old.
Yeah.
So my thing was spread out, so it wasn't like that.
Okay.
It was nothing like his.
Right.
Man, so you got one wonder.
What's your relationship with Mike Epps?
Mike Epps and I are very, very good friends. I love to see, when I look at Mike, I think about how his world has changed, because I know him from way back from the very beginning. And to see where he's at now, see what he's done for his community, to know I had a part in projecting his direction. Also, a gentleman who used to work for me, I changed his life. His name's TC. He works for Mike. So they all met through me, and they've been rolling ever since over the last 30, 40 years. So it's been a combination of everybody's life being changed, and I'm glad to know I was part of that.
That's good. Yeah, real good.
So speaking on relationships, what is yours with DL Hughes? I know you brought up these guys. You mentioned it. So where's your relationship with DL?
DL is my man. You know, we're about to see each other in a couple of days for the Super Bowl. I'm about to do my podcast live, because my podcast has never been filmed. You know, it's always been on the phone. I interview people on the phone. I never do it live. So for with the NFL, I'm gonna do it live, and I got 3 special guests. I got Dion Cole, I got Earthquake coming, I got DL coming, and they all doing this, taking a little time out to hang out with me, and then we're gonna go hang out that night at their show, because they're doing a big show up there. My show is this Wednesday, coming up at the Laugh Lounge. So, but I do my stuff differently because I've been a boss way before most comics. So I do my stuff is free. I let people come in free. I feel if you go through your year going to NBA games, football games, basketball games, at least when you come to Vegas for the big event, I want you to have a good time. Come and see because we bosses. So my whole crew is gonna be free food, drinks, and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna have a good time because people love, free stuff. I mean, as long as you come on your best behavior, you know how to act. Let's just have a good time.
And there was sense.
Yes.
So I know you said you helped Mike Epps a little bit coming up. Do you feel like that's an important part of the business as an OG to help some of the new up and coming comedians?
Well, I won't help nobody now. I'm burnt out. But years ago, because I was just an ambitious young guy, I was bringing all these people on because I had a strategy. Because before Def Jam, my style of comedy was so raw that I had to have people to pave the way for me. So DL, Mike, and them was my strategy to, if they blew up, hopefully TV show, hopefully a movie, that I would be in position to swing off their momentum and get what I wanted. But what happened in our careers, everybody started going their own direction. And when you sit back today and you see what everybody has accomplished, it's really a good thing, and like I said, to know that I was part of that is makes me feel good.
It's Black History Month, February. I know you mentioned doing your stand-up and things like that. What is your view on the current state of the Black community as far as the wealth gap is crazy? There are low standards and expectations for the Black community. So what is your what's our view on the current state of it? I think
the Black community is doomed. I think that we don't fact check anything. I think social media has crippled the Black community to a level that we have not figured out yet. And all you got to do is you just watch social media. When there's negativity, the numbers is insane.
That's true.
Because people like looking at car accidents. People like looking at other people having crisis in their life or confusion. If you promote anything positive, you might get 9-7 likes. But if you talk about something negative, you talk about a beef between. You got to talk about two people, two rappers, beefing with each other. It's going. So we are drawn towards negativity, and then the education thing is bad, and because I see it when I talk about real things that I know what I'm talking about, and young kids are still arguing with me. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I just laugh. Because what I do now, I just get people just to come on my page. It's a market strategy for me. Just come on my page, say my name, go back and forth, engage. I did my thing. So
you said it's doomed. Is there any way for it to get fixed? I know me and my wife here, we created a program, me and my brother, called a reality program through our church, where we're taking Black kids and we're showing them that it's more out in the world. There are careers out here than just being in the streets. And so what is your solution to all of this? Or owning homes? Me and my brother, he bought his first house at 19. I just bought mine 22. It's what would you say is your solution to get the Black community back, sort of speak?
People like you. It's self-explanatory. We need people like you guys to, because you can't save the world like Martin Luther King. You can only take 1-2 people at a time, and that's how you do it. You get people that really want to better their lives. You get people who really want good for themselves. And if you can show them that's the key, because you can't save everybody.
Because some people don't even want to be helped.
They don't want to be helped. So you gotta let people do what they do. But as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, you win it all day.
So, when things like the say George Floyd or something like that's happening, I feel like the Black community doesn't have like a face. Like, you know how Martin Luther King was a face for the black community. I feel like a lot of the things that we do is not such an imprint because we don't have one voice. Like,
there's too many leaders. I totally agree. But getting that social media, the world is indifferent. Like, could you imagine Michael Jordan spoke up?
Okay.
It'd be insane, right? If Michael Jordan was the leader of everything. But Michael's paid so much money, he's not gonna rock the boat. But imagine if Michael Jordan would go out here. He could really make an influence on the world. But by him being paid so much money,
Shut him up.
he stays quiet. It's deep.
Yeah, that is.
I ain't never thought about that. That's true. Because he can change a lot of things.
Oh, if he started talking, brother.
Because that's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Michael Jordan talk. It's like back in the day, you said this commercial called E.F. Hutton. When E.F. Hutton talked, people listen. Well, Michael Jordan the same way. Michael Jordan start talking, he could get so much done. And if he was really that kind of dude, he could get Nike to finance a lot of things in the community and help people out around the world. You know, but you know, I mean, hey.
They say
I can't tell another man what to do, but that would be nice to do that.
They say MJ putting like a lot of money into like prison reform.
No, it's not true. See, that's why you got to fact check stuff, right? There's a white man named Michael Jordan. Has the same name as Michael Jordan. So when people say that, they were saying Michael Jordan, but no, it's not Michael Jordan. It's a white man named Michael Jordan.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. Yeah, you gotta do your homework.
That's true.
Also, a little bit back to the 7 children. Do you feel like child support is corrupt? Do you feel like it's a way for women to kind of cripple a man?
I think child support is bad on so many levels, right? But some men need to go to court for child support because they really don't take care of the kid, right? Some women take advantage of child support. When a man does take care of his kid, the goal in life is to, when you get hit on the chin, is to see if you can withstand the punch. You go through your situation, you learn about life. You do the best you can. It teaches you. Is that a horrible person you had a baby with? You know, so many strategies. You could be married forever and still go to court for child support, right? You can have sex one night, and a girl feel like she want to take you to court for child support.
True.
So there's no crystal ball to follow. You young guys and older guys, you just have to be careful who you sleep with, and know the character of the woman that you're gonna have a child with, because that's where people miss the most thing. It's the character. And when you look at a woman or a man, is that person qualified to be the father or mother of my child?
How do you determine that, like off the rip?
You take your time.
Okay.
You take your time.
Okay.
You know, most of the women I meet, I'm trying to get them in bed immediately. You know, then a week later you see the character and you're like, man, what was I thinking? You know, like I don't even want to be around this person. You know, so that's the mistakes most people in my age group made, and some kids still make it. But I talk about it so people don't make those mistakes anymore.
Okay. I know you use your platform a lot to educate people, especially when you're doing you're the only comedian that I really know who you'll tell jokes at the beginning, and then towards the end you start talking about life insurance, health insurance. It's educational. What made you start doing that?
I just think evolution evolved. It wasn't something that I planned. I just think that it led to that, you know. And what I'm really thinking about is like, what's next? Like, I'm talking about life insurance and all that. Like, am I have to start talking about church, and I'm going to have to talk about the Lord more? You know what I mean? Because you want to grow as a comedian. So, you know, I read a lot on quantum physics. I read a lot on theology, philosophy. And maybe I might take a turn that direction to inject that into the universe. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. So, growing up, like, did you have anybody mentoring you or teaching you things like about, say, health insurance or anything like that?
No, that's all the stuff I learned through trial and error. Like, I had a lot of family members who passed away, you know, at a young age. But my father and mother, they always had insurance, right? And when you the person I had to bury most everybody in my family because everybody from my family is deceased. So I buried my mother, buried my father, buried both my brothers. So you got to deal with insurance, right? So everybody had insurance, and it was something I evolved and started talking about. I think maybe over the last 5 years, I've really been pushing the insurance game.
Do you feel like, how you said all those deaths, do you feel like that impacted your life majorly growing up?
Yeah, I'm quite sure it has. You know, I think it impacted, but being a stand-up comedian is like therapy. You go on stage, you could talk about it. Because my kids are really proud of me. So when they think about Dad, I don't know what I'll do if he wasn't here, or I don't have my mother or your father. Like that can really put kids in depression. Believe it or not, that's something I want to start talking about. We have to start teaching our children how to survive when you're gone.
Okay, yeah.
Because most kids, when their parents go, they get depressed, they lose it, and some wind up dying. But because parents don't talk to their children about death. So you gotta start talking about it to get them used to it, and what to do when it does happen, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's another thing in the black community. I feel like even depression. Like I feel like I think your generation went through a lot of mental and depression. But
let me tell you about depression. See, depression is something that's been programmed on society. Everybody thinks they're depressed. You watch TV, they got medication. You watch this, they tell you that you're depressed, and people are truly influenced because people got too much free time on their hands. See, the generation for my generation, there was no such thing as depression because everybody worked. They was busy. They stayed occupied. So when you stay busy, you don't have time for depression. It's just that people have so much time that that's what they think is going on with their lives. So it's far gone now. People really think that they're depressed. And I tell people all the time, you go to the gym every day, you run 3-4 miles every day, you ain't, man, by the time you get back home, you'll be so exhausted. You'll be well rested. Oh man, you go right to sleep.
I agree, because I say that's the cure.
Yeah, you got to stay busy.
This is me. This is what I do.
Right.
Yeah, because I say that all the time. Like that's the cure. That's the cure to depression.
Yeah,
you got it. Because if you just sitting in a room all day and you thinking, you're gonna be in your feelings. You're gonna
be in your thoughts.
The social media gonna make it worse.
Right. Yep. So true. So true.
But going back to it, do you think still the black community? Do you think they're educated on mental health though? Because I think the black community is not educated well at all. I mean, just like you guys didn't know who Michael Jordan was, right? Oh yeah.
Think about it. A lot of y'all don't know who. I think it's Gregory Crumb. Crumb. Gregory Crumb was the black man who invented the potato chip. You know what I mean? These things are important. It's just little things. But we are a country that we don't even know 2 languages. But when you travel the world and you see black people, let me finish my thought. When you see black people traveling the world and you go to different places, black people know 2-5 languages, dog.
That's true.
Fluently.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we sit here, go get our hands and feet done, manicure and pedicure. The Chinese, the Spanish, they could talk to you in English. Their friends come up, they start talking to you in Spanish or Chinese, and you looking around like that's rude. But in actuality, mentally a better, well prepared. What's the word I'm looking for? Not generation.
Like a society almost.
Not society. Their heritage. They're well prepared.
Culture.
Yeah, for themselves.
Yeah, they to know 2 languages.
Yeah, that's true.
Unbelievable.
Whole lineage almost. You know what I'm saying?
Character.
Yeah, it's amazing to know 2 languages, and that's something that we should push. And all you guys, when you start having children, that's something that you should really strive in your children to know 2-3 different languages. It'd be so impressive later on in life. You may not see it, but when they're in their 20s, 30s, they traveling the world, they could talk another language. Something that I really wish that I would have hopped on as a youngster.
Okay.
Going into that a little bit, what's your thoughts on interracial marriages?
I think it's cool. It's what you like, but you got to deal with what comes with the consequences. Because if you a black dating a white woman, some flack's gonna come with that. You can't walk down the street sometimes, depending on your neighborhood, and you can't do that. There was a bomb squad, hit squad or something that men would go when they see black men dating white women, they would go break in their house, beat them up. There's a big case going on about that right now, about that situation where these white guys is whooping black people and beating them up and sexually assaulting them because they was dating white women.
Wow.
So it definitely does exist.
Man. Is getting married a bigger commitment? Do you think getting married is a bigger commitment than having kids?
I think all it's corny. Like I told you, I think marriage is corny. I think it's corny.
Why do you think it's corny? Let me ask you that. Why do you
Because there's
think
so
marriage is
much
corny?
confusion. I've always said that men who get married are men who can't get pussy. You know, so they want to have in-home pussy. I've been a player my whole life, you know, and I've slowed down a lot. But that's just me. But everybody can't do what I do. So I always tell people, you don't want to be like me because my DNA and the way I move is different. You mess around and be one depressed dude trying to be like a TK Kirkland. But when I look at you and I talk to you guys, I talk to my children and how the relationships are serious. It's corny to me, I admit. But I'm thankful that they have this foundation of a family, and I wish that's the best for anybody. That if that's what you want to do, don't listen to me if that ain't what you want to do. Because people tell you in a minute, oh, he's gonna die alone. But I'm here to tell people today, all day, you're gonna die alone anyway.
That's true.
Ain't nobody jumping in the grave with you when you leave here. It's a wrap.
That's true.
You know, so stop with the corny shit.
So what age? Just following up on that, what age do you think, quote unquote, hoeing around? Like, what age do you think is too old? Because I know they both single, and I
think hoeing around. You mean was too old to hoe?
Yeah, like what age it gets too
About
old?
97.
All right. That's going right.
Man, if I could sling this till I'm 97.
97.
Dog. Because see, people don't think the way I think. So now I'm in my 90s. I'm buying women houses.
What? That's 3 years from 100.
I'm buying women houses. I'm putting them through school.
Okay.
But I took care of my body. I'm in great shape. You know.
So you're doing good things.
Yeah, I'm in Barcelona. You know, I'm in Paris. You know, but I'm still fly.
Okay.
You know, I got the Versace sweater on.
Okay.
Got the driver.
Yeah.
Got the glasses. Got the 50-year-old girl with me kicking it, dog. That's the you know, going to a restaurant, you back, you got the little gray in your beard. You know, you on the waitress, you know, because your swag is so cold. You know, you got your little cigar. You know, and when you distinguish, people know. So you puff, you on the, you know, you're on the patio at a restaurant.
This is me.
Way to come, you go.
Man, what?
You know, get a bottle, you know, Chateau, you know, 1931. You know, bring me a glass of Louis XIII, please. You know, you sit there and puff your cigar. You know, you eating up nice cheese and you ever had caviar?
I never had.
Oh, caviar. See, I do all that, yo. Caviar, little eggs and other kind of stuff. You take the caviar and you take the spoon and you put it on a toasted chip. You know, spread it out. Eat that mug.
Hey, that's how you know you made it, though.
That's how you know
You know, and caviar ain't cheap.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, a jar this big is about $400-something.
Serious?
Yeah, caviar. You know, like I really be living. So when I share my world, people call me simple, whatever. But man, I really be living, dog.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I really, you know, I really be living.
Yeah.
Like, I wish y'all the best. In Toledo, Ohio. Toledo.
Have you had a favorite city? Like, what city that you've been to do you feel like has had the best women?
Well, I don't do that. I think that if you have to compare anything, you should stay where you are.
Okay.
Every city has something special to truly offer. And whenever you go there because you've been there a couple of times and you like where you're going when you get there. I always tell people never compare, and I always tell people you should never die where you're born. Because to me, it means you never went nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you should be buried somewhere else.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Do you feel like women nowadays are more difficult or easier to deal with nowadays versus when you were coming up?
I think they've always been difficult. You know, when you're young, and see, I was always busy. So track, getting an education, hustling, always thinking about getting the next dollar. I had a lot of women, but I never got caught up in the BS. And if you got on my nerves, I'd meet somebody else. No, not really. It was that dude. Like, if you got on my nerves, you was out. Yeah, I wasn't even playing with that. Some people got lucky. Some people had me in their lives 2 or 3 years, and you might caught me in a situation, right?
Yeah.
And then once I shook it off, I came back to my, to my realization about I'm gonna rock this. Cause my mother used to ask me before she died, you're like, baby, are you ever gonna get married? I told my mother straight to her face. I said, I think I'm gonna ride this out, Mom. I'm gonna do this by myself.
So you never met a woman that you thought that you would marry?
Mostly all the women I meet, I think I'm gonna marry.
Okay.
And then it kicks in and like, it ain't happening. Nah. Cause I love me.
Yeah.
You don't think you can love you and somebody else though? You don't
I
think
can
so?
love you for a few hours.
For a few hours.
Yeah, I can love you for a few hours, and that's it.
Okay.
And that's just me. Like I said, some people may not agree with it, but that we all got our own paths, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That's what life's about.
Yeah. Man, we down to the quick hitters now. So what are non-sexual things that make women attractive to you? Non-sexual.
Make them attracted to me. I think because I'm a strong man. I think that I understand conversation. I push masculinity as a man. Women today like that because most men are lacking being men. They soft. They walk in feminine. They walk in knock needed. They're not strong individuals, right? So this is a turn on. So as my stars keep rising, now the young girls are on me, 20, 25, and I'll tell them in a minute, like, my daughter would kill me if she knew I was dating you. So I'm going to sneak you in the house.
You still can make still come in here, but you saying
Yeah, I'm going to sneak you in and you got to go,
Yeah.
I'll be doing my thing.
Man, it's like I know you mentioned that women lose value as they get older. Do you believe that?
Well, some women lose value. Let me explain this. So here's the game. Me and Kevin Samuels was going to do an interview before he died
Are you serious?
on Vlad. It was going to be one of probably the biggest interviews ever.
yes.
And the direction that I went was Kevin Samuels was just too hard on women because he destroyed them. Where I give women game. I teach you. I'll talk bad about you in a nice way, but I'm gonna give you the game to survive. So what I tell women, if you got 2, 3 kids in your life and you meet a man of high value in a sense, you're really being injustice to that guy because he has no children. He worked hard. He got his life together. He has benefits. He's doing his thing. But you was out here hoeing at the Hampton Inn, having a good time, misleading your life in a sense, right? Just an example. So now you meet this guy and you put all your choices and mistakes you made on someone that went through life and did it right. But because you had the fat booty, you was very attractive and he really loved you. He wasn't strong enough to resist you. So he thinks this is what he wants. And he gets caught up in that. And as years go on, he realized, wow, I could have went a whole nother route. I could have had my own family. I could have did my own thing. And most men of the world take these decisions. They go down that route. And what we want for women is and men, don't be having children at a young age. Because I think the latest you should wait is 30. But the reason why you should wait till you're 30, 31, because by that time you might meet the guy of your dreams. But if you do have a baby at 21, 22,
you got established.
That person is gone. You moving on your life now. Your life is better too. You became a doctor. You're a nurse. You're doing good. But a smart man will go, wow, I like her, but it's too much responsibility. It's just like if you came into my office and we was about to invest in stock.
Right.
I would tell you the investing had the least amount of problems. You can get a return for your money.
Right.
And that's the way people got to look at life. Just because a woman is beautiful, don't mean that's the route you're supposed to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy. And most men don't do what makes them happy. They do things what they think they're supposed to do. And years later, they wind up being miserable. But then some people get lucky, like you and your wife. My son found somebody nice. And you got to want a man who wants to be a husband.
Oh, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, a man who wants to be a husband.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be a husband.
I know me and my wife talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like I say this all the time. I said a man has to love the woman more in order for the relationship to work. Because
I think it goes both ways.
Why you say that?
Yeah, I think that you marry someone that loves you more than love you. But if two people meet each other and you're truly on the same level as love, then it's a win all day.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a win all day,
Yeah.
you know. And then the character, like I think I don't know your wife personally, but hopefully when you ill one day, you know, and you're sick, she'll bathe you, she'll wipe you, she'll change your clothes, you know, she'll push you around in a wheelchair. These things are important.
Yeah.
You know, people don't think about that. They just look for the nice stuff in the relationship.
Right, yeah.
But these things come.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why you got to have your finance got to be right, your mindset got to be right, and you got to know if this is what you signing up for. It's deep.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna give you a different perspective. The reason why I think that men should love women more in order for it to work is because the man first has to propose. If the women every woman want to get married. Every woman want to have kids. If that man doesn't want to do it, it's like a lot of men cheat and the relationship over because the woman hate them now. But that's why I feel like the man has to really want, like you said, be a husband in order for it to really work and have structure. That's the only reason I say that.
But everything is luck. Everything is like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
You got to hope the colors all add up. Because you can be that guy, but your girl could be a hoe.
That's true. That's true.
You could be that guy, and you're doing everything right. You bought a house, you bought a car.
That's true.
But she kicking it with the dude that park cars at Morton Steakhouse.
That's true.
That's true.
And then like him.
Right, and like him.
That's true. You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or you finally catch her, like, you got to leave him alone. She said, look, I'm going to leave him alone. And maybe she took a year off, and you check her phone one day by accident.
Yeah.
She back with the same dude.
Yeah.
These things happen.
That's true. It happen often too.
It happen.
Got a quick hitter.
Do you feel like a woman can erase her past?
Well, we all have a past, and I don't think a man should know. You should never want to know a woman's past, and a woman should never tell her past, because a man thinks that's what he wants to hear. Yeah. Well, tell me, did you kick it with Steve? You think that's what you want, but once she tells you, you'll never look at her the same ever again.
Yeah.
So you got to know that people's past is past. It's not it was a life lesson. It wasn't a jail sentence. You know, people got to know how to move on from that. I think that's me.
Okay. That's very true. Is it easier now to become a comedian versus back then? Because now social media, you could say you're a comedian just by picking up a phone,
That's
have a couple thousand. So would you say it's easier now? But I feel like I'm gonna ask you. Do you feel like it's easier now?
I think it's easier in a sense.
Yeah.
To become a comedian, because you only need videos, and you could go out here if your videos is funny, boom, you could skyrocket, go do a comedy show. People pay a lot of money to see you, but they get a horrible show. Then you get people who, when I was coming up, we was only getting $20 a shot, but the goal was to get on our City Hall. They would let them in to do a movie to get what we now call followers, which are fans. So you got a lot of fans that come see you. That's the equivalent of hitting a home run on social media. Right. So when Eddie Murphy was the man in Beverly Hills Cop, he was a huge star. Gotcha. That's equivalent to millions of people following you on Instagram today. And so everybody didn't have the opportunity. Right. So now if you do the right thing on Instagram, boom. Yeah. So I found my niche on Instagram. You know, my content that I've done in the last 6 months, I've gotten maybe 60-something thousand followers. So I'm averaging maybe 1,200 to 2,000 followers each week. Oh, wow. And it's getting better and better because I put out new content every day. And the stuff that I talk about is powerful. It ain't nothing goofy. I ain't posted nobody else's stuff about fights or nothing like that.
Right.
It's like true knowledge to make people better, because I really want people. Not that I want you to truly listen to me. I just want to give you another way of looking at things.
Okay.
That's it. I just want you to see something different.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
Open your eye a little bit more.
So, do you enjoy? I know, like you said, now you're more so educating people on things. Do you enjoy doing that more than, say, when you were coming up, having to just make people laugh and being funny?
I like it all.
Okay.
It all comes together. I think it's all in the same boat. You know, the knowledge thing is something that comes because you get older. You know, it is what it is. The comedy is something that you taught yourself to do. So, I haven't wrote a joke on a piece of paper maybe over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, everything is in my head. You know, I get an idea, I stick to it throughout that day, and then when I go on stage, I just start talking wherever the momentum takes me. That's where it goes. But after 40 years, you're supposed to be fucking great.
Yeah.
You know, you're a true professional after 40 years.
Yeah.
So, at what point do you think somebody becomes like an OG in the business?
When you gotta have wisdom, you know. Me personally, I don't think. Let's talk about being a man and OG. I don't think you become a man until you're about 45, 47.
Okay.
I think you don't become a woman until you're about 40. Now, most people, I've done a lot for my age. But there's no substitute for experience. There's no substitute for knowing how to control the climate of the room. Now, think about things that used to make you mad when you was in your 20s. Compared to now, you laugh like, man, I can't believe I used to trip off that.
Right.
When people tell me that they 30 and they think they smart because they bought a house, they got children, you know that you're going to be a lot smarter at 33. I mean, at 63 compared to at 30. That's 30 years. That's 33 years of growth. Everything about you is going to be better if that's the direction that you take it. And that's what people need to do. You are definitely going to be better. And like I just did something on social media. I was talking about 30 is a child. And people was like, oh, you don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm 64. That's a child to me.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got a home. I don't care if you got a car. That don't make you grown. Wisdom and experiences make you grown. And you need 30-something years to get all that. When you're 13, I mean, you're 30, what? It's like 12 years from being 18 years old. 15 years ago, you was 15. That ain't enough experience.
That's true.
You wasn't paying bills at 15. You wasn't paying rent.
16,
See, when you grown, you got to know how to, you got to figure out when to pay a bill, what not to pay. The money ain't right this week. We got to flip it and wait here on it. It's a strategy, like a chess game.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of it like that.
Me neither. 15 years from 30.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
You really ain't grown.
Yeah, you're not grown.
They say,
Do you feel like the younger generation has the same kind of hustle that your generation had?
Yeah, it depends on where you go. I see a lot of young men in different parts of the country with that same ambition, and I see a lot of communities that a lot of brothers don't have it. But it depends on your upbringing, depends on who raised you, depends on what you want in life, it depends on how social media affected you. Because we all get affected by it differently. You know, I tell people don't follow people that promote a lot of fights, homosexuality, sexual assault. Follow people that's spiritual. Follow people that teaches you something. If you can learn from them every day than the people that you follow.
I have a question. Do you feel like the government is more so pushing like LGBTQ things? Like
Yes, obvious that that's what they're doing. But like I said on stage last night, we could talk to fucking throats hurt.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Unless we go to war.
Yeah.
And the government now is too powerful for us to do anything. And as long as you got people who believe in the government and they're doing something right, they could kill you. You know, you got Dr. CB, I think his name, that's how you pronounce it.
Sebi or whatever,
Yeah, they killed him. You know, it was a man, I read a book that in the 80s he wrote a book from Kenya about how to cure AIDS. They killed him.
Wow.
So,
Black.
Yeah, see, when we become powerful and leaders, they easily can knock you off. And then if the government knock you off, our own people knock you off.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
you look at Nipsey Hussle, you look at Bob Marley, you look at so many, Malcolm X, it was infiltrated. Our own people will do you in, man. So you can have millions of people who love you, but it only take one person to hate you and can get you.
So coming down to it, you've been 40 years in the entertainment business. That's a long time. I mean, that's double our age. What advice would you give to like young people like us coming up in this new entertainment businent? What advice?
Well, it's
would you?
interesting because I was just in the mall and a dude recognized me. He wanted to become an actor, and I told him, "Don't become an actor." And he said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, because people really want to go to Hollywood, but it's not what you seem for. It's not what you think it is, especially for the black man and woman." That's why we get excited when one black person makes it. You go, "Wow!" So it gives everybody this hope that you can make it. Right. But they have subtly destroyed everything about being black on TV. There's no Bill Cosby shows. There's no Martin Lawrence shows. There's no Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air shows anymore. There's no college shows that push about college, right? You don't see movies like Boys in the Hood no more. You don't see no movies like that. None. But they will push the agenda of slavery. They will push The Color Purple. And I tell people, Hollywood, to me, does that to make sure that you remember for the rest of your life that you was a slave. And people rush to these movies to support these movies, not understanding that they playing you. It's one of the greatest manipulations ever seen to me.
Wow.
That is crazy.
So speaking of the power of the government, I know a lot of people say like the government used to push drugs and stuff into the black community. You feel like that's true?
Well, it's not that I think it's true. We all know it's true. I mean, I could see it in your eyes when you asked the question. You knew it was true. You was trying to fill in the space, so you asked the question. When it came out, when I saw the words coming up your throat, you already knew the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? So we all know what the government is horrible, man. You know, you live your life, you take care of your family, you keep your scalp moisturized. You know, use good condition in your hair. And you keep it moving. That's all you could do.
Man, so that's a look at.
Did you have one more? I know you said your son is different from you. Like, would you prefer for your son to be more so like Russell Wilson or like a Future?
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like a Future. I want my son to be opposite of me, and he's doing the right thing. You know, I love that for him. I wish him the best.
So that's for your son. Would you rather want your daughter to date or with a man like Future?
I want my daughter to. It's the same thing. I want my daughter to meet people like Russell Wilson. Any real man will want their daughters to marry a good woman, and any real father will want their son to marry a good woman. Some people get lucky. I'm looking at your wife and everything. You guys got lucky at a young age. So you have that. And you have no idea the odds of that happening. Like it's in the millions that you found love at such a young age. You know what I mean? So you guys will always be there for you. It will be a bond for the rest of your life. And I wish you the best. Now, do I think it's corny as hell? Yes, I do. But everybody got to live their life. Right. You know, and I wish people the best with their life. I'm going to live my life.
All right.
Being a successful man, do you feel like men and women should split things financially 50-50, or should a man?
It depends on your money situation. If you got money, you love her. But what I've learned is that even if you got money, you should let a woman work. So she can have independence, so she can know how to survive just in case you die. Or leave her. You know, there's been stories where men took care of their women for years and then left them with nothing, and she's in her 50s, she don't know what to do. So now she's in a shelter. You know, so every woman should have their own thing and move the way they want to move as a boss. Just in case it doesn't work out, they're not dependent on nobody.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah. Do you feel like the more that a man provides for a woman, the more that she'll love the money instead of loving him?
Well, that's a good question, but that's again based on your mentality, and it's also based on the women that you date, right? Money is a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Money is to get you some of the best pussy in the world, some of the most beautiful women in the world. That's what money's for.
Yeah.
Young people like, oh, she's a gold digger, you know, but money is supposed to attract good women. Just like when you buy a beautiful home, you got the right kind of money, you get a bigger house.
Yeah.
If your money's right, you get a so-called okay home. If you got your money's right, you get a okay car. But if your money's right,
Yeah.
you might get a Bentley, you might get a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Money attracts better things, and that's what you want with money. Now, again, you got to make choices. If you rush into it, you don't know the character of a female. Well, she could get you because you didn't do your homework. You see that she didn't have structure.
Yeah.
So now you're kind of getting played in a sense. Or she could start out nice,
Yeah.
but because you spoiled her, you made her rotten.
Change the
Yeah,
mindset.
that's true. That's true.
Change, like she was a nice girl when you met her,
Yeah.
but because you bought the Rolex and the diamonds, she's a different individual.
Change
now.
everything.
Yeah.
Changed the whole life.
She finna live like this forever.
It's not even if she's gonna live like this forever. Her mindset is changed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She'll never be that person you met years
Even
ago.
If she leave her, she gonna try to find another caliber.
Not
man
even she
like
just
that.
trying to find another caliber. Her mindset is done. She could be corrupt. She could be
okay.
evil now for the rest of her life, and bitter and painful and
Lost.
and lost and doing anything now to keep that status or that high, so to speak.
One last one. Being an OG in this, do you feel like it's any goals in the industry that you haven't accomplished that you still want to?
My one goal now is that even though I have my own network called TK.network, I put up my own comedy specials. I want my goal now is to do Netflix.
Okay.
You want
I want to do Netflix. I'm gonna do one special on Netflix because since the world is so manipulated, they think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I just want to do it because I think I'm so funny
Yeah.
that when they do see me on there and all the comics they have seen
Yeah.
prior to me,
Yeah. That's true.
once you see me,
That's number one.
it's a different ball game. You will look at every comic
Yeah. Like it.
different in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you see me perform live,
Yeah.
and that's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fact.
True.
You see me live,
Yeah. That's crazy that you said that's the last thing that you want to do, because I know you was like, I do my own thing. I don't want to mess
yeah.
with Netflix.
I want to do Netflix to show the world
Yeah.
this guy who has been that dude for years, and all the comics know. By the way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
it ain't a secret.
Right.
All the comics know how good TK Kirkland is.
Everybody know TK.
They seen it
Yeah.
from the beginning when we was coming up the ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know. They know.
Man.
I'm gonna repeat it. They know.
That's crazy. That's a flex to say. It's just
Yeah,
like they know. They
brother.
know.
Flex.
Yeah.
They know.
It's true.
To this day, when I walk into a room, I got to be the last one to go on, because no comic want to follow me.
Are you serious?
Even the comics who claim they that man, when I walk in the room, they'll say, "I'm going on before TK."
Wow.
These are facts.
You feel like you got your flowers, like people giving you flowers.
I've been fly my whole life. I don't need flowers from nobody. Yo, it's in my DNA. I've really been that dude all my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people need a blue check. You know, some people need to get flowers. Yo, I've really been this dude
Yeah.
my whole life.
So you don't need that validation.
You feel like a lot of comedians or even just the entertainment industry, do you feel like people are authentic?
I really don't care. I don't get caught up in what people are. I move solo because I always tell people eagles fly alone. I'm always by myself. And what other people do with their lives, they do with their lives. I'm really into what I do. And obviously I'm doing something right because I made it to a certain age. And that's a good feeling, the achievement that I made. I'm like, yo, I really got to answer nobody because I made it to my 60s.
Right.
A lot of people ain't doing that. A lot of people ain't going to make that.
Yeah, that's true. Man. I guess we can end it off that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Real Talk TV. We got TK Kirkland in the building. We really asked this last question.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Before we end off. Who would you like to see on the show next? But before you answer, you got to help us get them on.
That's funny. So, and I'm going to give you a really good answer. I really don't give a fuck, and I'm not helping you.
At least you're real with it.
Yeah, I'm a busy man. I ain't got time for that shit. Yeah, let me try to get somebody to help me. Yeah. When you leave here, I got to do something else. You know what I'm saying? I got something else I got to do. You know what I'm saying?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Real Talk TV, and we out of here.
Real Talk